marks, red eyes, clothes everywhere. Missing a moment when you're still there.
Okay.
Hey, actually, Mr. Mayor, before we get started, I know it's not a full proclamation, but it is this town's mayor, was this town's mayor's birthday yesterday. And I thought we should all just, celebrate and thank our mayor for a happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry, please, continue, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
And I will say, I did call him, and I think he got scared and had real business. I was saying, was happy birthday.
45 minutes to work with the coverage to follow back. Okay, so the first thing on the agenda, thank you, is to be considered RFP for professional services. To the best of my recollection, we haven't done this for all of our professionals in many, many years. And so I'm recommending to the council that we go out for basic, is this an RFQ? No, RFP, excuse me, RFP for all of our professionals. The return date is, the details are all within the RFP itself, but we'll make a decision and appointments by the January 16th meeting. Any council members have questions or thoughts? Yes, Madam, please.
Maybe you can just explain the difference between an RFP and an RFQ. So
You want to talk about that?
Sure, be happy to. A request for a proposal is a request for the services from either a singular individual or firm. A request for qualifications is basically a request from multiple professional firms or individuals to provide a service yet to be determined. So as an example, you would send out a request for proposal for a borough attorney or a municipal attorney. You could also send out a request for qualifications to create a pool of qualified attorneys to do unspecified work over the course of the 12-month period. And you would assign those attorneys to a particular project as the projects arise over the course of the year.
okay, and so for an RFP, there's no requirement of that you have to pick the best, or it can still be whoever you want to choose within that. Is that how it works?
Well, the concept here is it's fair and open. So you advertise it in the newspaper, you advertise it on your website. Any professional can come and pick up the RFP. They can respond to it. They're reviewed in the eyes of the municipality, the best qualified based upon not only price, like a bid, but also the qualifications, the experience, the knowledge, the familiarity of the municipality, and all of those other factors that are basically listed in the document itself.
Okay, so basically, 5 people can apply. It's not based on price. It's not based on. And is it based on objective criteria, or is there some subjectiveness in this?
By ordinance, a committee is established. The committee by ordinance is the mayor and 2 council people, and that committee makes the recommendation to the governing body to make the award hopefully on January 16th.
And that would be the same 3 people who decide on all of the. So just to let everyone know, the ones who we're talking about here are borough attorney, labor counsel, borough auditor, bond counsel, borough engineer, tax appeal attorney, alternate tax appeal attorney, prosecutor, public defender, zoning board attorney, planning board attorney, special counsel, borough planner, planning board engineer. So these are the professionals that we're going out to request proposals from. And so basically what you're suggesting is the same 3 people would be the ones recommending all of these positions.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, that's how it would work. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if my volume.
Right.
Right, and these are the professionals that we're always saying we should rely on our professionals. So, I'm just trying to get the lay of the land and understanding that how this is determined, you know, because
So
we've had this, just real quick, we've had this for the same, or certain, you know, firms or whatever for in here for a few years. Some are, you know, people that we think need additional, that we should look into alternative, you know, firms, maybe something like that. So I just wanted to understand.
I was just saying Wendy wanted us to chime in.
Wendy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna, that there is an borough order for the process, how the evaluation is done, criteria that is determined for it. Many of these are mayoral appointments that are also selected by the mayor at the end of the day with advice and consent of council. Some of these would obviously be referred to other entities such as the planning or zoning board with recommendations for them to make their appointments. So I just wanted to point out that it all would coincide with the borough's existing ordinance for fair and open process.
Right, so I mean, so to the extent that we're talking about a fair and open process, it depends on how we mean that term, right? I mean, it's not, the fairness is still at the end of the day up to a specific person or persons.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have to appoint our own professionals. The whole point of this is probably, I don't think we've done anything like this, the borough's done anything like this for at least 10 or 15 years. We just kind of, we've been reappointing the same people who are all wonderful people, all professionals, every year. And so now we're going to go out there and see what other fish are to see also. So at least we educate ourselves.
Right, and as I said, I'm not objecting to it. I just wanted to make sure that people understood, you know, what this is talking about, because we have not seen this in our terms. And you know, so yeah, I mean, this was something that I had suggested last year when we were looking for labor council, when we were considering somebody for labor council, and I think Wendy at the time had suggested that it wasn't necessary at that time, but and we ultimately chose Rowena for that. So okay, I just wanted to lay out, you know, I get it.
Well, just to clarify,
Any other questions or clarifications on council? Wendy, go ahead.
I don't recall the conversation, but you certainly don't have to do it at any time, and you certainly may do it at any time to go out for RFP. I just want to clarify that. I don't like the way it sounded at the end there.
If there is an objection on the resolution, does that mean that it moves into the other part, like the consent agenda, or is it?
It moves into the non-consent agenda. Yes.
But it would be voted on.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the administrative report. Yep.
You want to move that to a resolution?
Oh, is it,
It's going to be on the non-consent
it's gonna
agenda.
be on the non-consent?
Yes.
So then, just one more question. At that, do we determine who the two council members will be at that time, or?
No, I thought we would do that at the January 2nd meeting at the new council.
Okay.
The new council.
Why isn't it full? Why does it have to be accepted?
What?
Why isn't it just full?
Can't take action.
Because council can't meet as a committee.
You're meeting with each and every one of these professionals.
I don't know, we're gonna have, maybe we're gonna do like we do with any time we review it, we're gonna go through it and decide who is gonna be serving the best interest of the government. Okay, administrative report.
A few quick items, the RFP for the downtown revitalization plan design engineer is due tomorrow. We already have one submission in our possession, so we're moving along quickly there. The senior van is scheduled to be delivered next week.
Kevin, on that, the senior van was told to hold off until we got the advertising from the Wait Family Company. So could you know, Adam, if they've given the image that's supposed to go on the van side, that's really what's holding it up.
Sorry, they're,
It's supposed to match all the wayfinding stuff.
yeah,
It's supposed
we
to have
we
a
have
big
all that.
logo. So it was supposed to be given to the van company. They haven't received it. That's the only reason why I don't have our van.
Who's giving it out? I mean,
I don't know, but that's why I'm saying, do you know?
if you want me
anyone?
to, I can send it to Kevin right now, and then he can send it to the bank. I didn't know, I didn't know this was holding it back.
Yeah, to be honest, this thing has been held up for so long, that what I was trying to do is get this van on our property and out of the hands of the dealer. Logos and lettering and all that other
Do
good
that
stuff
afterwards.
is important, but we figured that we would get possession of it first, and then we'll worry about that process.
Right.
But we'll get that done also, once we go in the van.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm happy to. We'll-
Okay, the train station, the written quote to replace the electrical service panels was sent out to 3 different electricians. The return date for that written quote is January 3rd. And those firms were supplied, the names were supplied to us by our electrical inspector. A couple of grants, we're pursuing the Green Acres Jake's Law Playground grant. However, the administration needs some direction on exactly what the work effort is going to be. The EDA local property acquisition grant, as previously reported, we're on hold there until the deadline, the application deadline is established. So you can't apply until that's established. We have 3 other additional Green Acres grants under consideration. Again, if we're going to move forward on those, we definitely need work efforts, scope of work. We know, exactly what we're going to put into the grant application.
I think just on that one, and obviously I love the mayor's point of view. I think there were 3 other ones. I think there's 2 of those 3. I read them again. I think 2 of those 3, I think are worth taking a look at. One is the acquisition grant, which I think we spoke about already, that's by properties. And then there's the development grant, like a parks development grant. That one, again, might be a long shot, but it sounds like it's a robust set of money, something like, we've been talking about Zach and Alive on each side and having to take it from the directions up. But that's just a good example of this development grant, might be one. So the only other one I would add, the mayor agrees, is that development grant, take a look at and see if it's worthwhile. Because there's already.
Kevin, you have the deadlines for these off the top of your head?
We're ahead of the curve, which is great.
February 7th.
The development grant. Actually, we gotta take a look. The development grant is actually December 27th.
Oh.
Yeah, so you just say the 27th?
So,
The property acquisition grant is to be determined. The Jake's law is December 27th. You have to tell Millennium by December 27th.
That's the deadline to Millennium.
Millennium, the grant date is due February 7th.
Right.
so in that one, we had, for the playground development, we had discussed. By the way, I do think that needs some renovation, but we had discussed using the square and walnut that is empty for the inclusivity equipment, which could be an easy thing. We picked out and looked at equipment, Jimmy and I, back in the day. We had picked out a plan. We priced
Yeah,
it.
I'm totally good with that.
Priced it with
We're ahead of the
paper.
curve. I think what we just need to
Right.
do is, I don't know if we need council to agree or whatever the right word is, but the local property acquisition grant has not been set yet. So that one is on hold, but I think that's the best one yet. They're willing to give up to $1 million. I'd take that. The second one is the Jake's Law, that we have to let them know by December 27th. That's actually up to $750,000. That the Jake's Law is all the inclusivity, which would be wonderful. And then the last one, I believe we should look at is the Green Acres Park Development Grant, which is formula based. So there's a cap. There's no cap.
So I would actually like, one of these grants to be in coordination with the Tenafly Nature Center. So the Nature Center is starting a 3-year, whatever it is, project to make its paths ADA compliant. For seniors, for, yeah.
Again, we just need to
And
tell
so-
Millennium, and then we have to open back door.
So the Nature Center has a grant writer named Helene, who would like to actually work with Kevin and Millennium on finding the right grant for them.
Good.
So can I put you in touch? Do I have the council's permission to
So-
facilitate that?
So the first question is about these 2 grants we're talking about. We have to tell them to get 5% of the
Right.
council.
Yeah.
Want to go ahead with that?
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll go ahead. Okay.
and then it's an ongoing.
Yes.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, the American Rescue Firefighter Grant application for the purchase of bunker gear and clothes dryer has been filed. And the second firefighter grant, Public Safety Foundation grant, is to be filed. And hiring Millennium via resolution is on tonight's agenda. It's anticipated that this grant is primarily for fire hose, couplings, valves, fire hooks, and associated equipment. Moving on, the recreation director and I conversed regarding the coffee truck for special events that was discussed at the last governing body's meeting. The concept of a concession and the borough's ordinances was discussed. The matter is not urgent, and that information will be brought back to the recreation committee. Some really good news. Employee dental benefits. Dental is providing at no additional cost to the borough or the employee an added benefit which provides additional services to those meeting the definition of those requiring special health care needs, which includes additional examinations, cleanings, and use of anesthesia in specific cases. This is for an off-the-cuff explanation. Certain individuals have issues where it is very difficult to be treated in a normal dentist's office and normal dental procedures. And I think that somebody got a hold of dental and explained this problem. And this is really a great benefit for parents who have the children of these issues, as well as parents and employees have those issues also. So it's really great. And we put out an email to all our employees informing them of this added benefit. That's my report.
Okay, very good, thank you. Any questions, Kevin? Oh, okay, all right, thank you. All right, so let's move on to public comment time. Audience members wishing to speak will have a 3-minute time limit to address the governing body on items on the agenda. Large groups are asked to have a spokesperson represented. Would anyone here like to make any public comment? I'm just going to put out there for a second. One of the items we're covering on the correspondence, the only item is underground training. And so the underground training friends can come up during that time. You don't need to speak right now. We'll have a whole discussion about that. Okay. If you want to speak, you're welcome to.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Your name, your address.
Shepherd Brinker, 12 Maple Street, Tenafly. Owner of Tenafly Bicycle Workshop. Everyone knows me, but a delinquent member of the Business Committee, as I am an active member and board of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm here on behalf of my cycling team, which is based out of Tenafly. We're a youth mountain bike team and development program. We have struggled to find places to ride bikes and to practice. In the winter time, it gets very difficult. We have to work out indoors. We have to figure out creative ways to get sometimes upwards of 15, 20 kids in a space to do some sort of cycling or health related activity. I'm here on behalf of the team because our primary sponsor is Underground Training. I'll let them speak separately because it's their business. But I implore you to allow my team to practice there by allowing them to have more space and utilizing a tent outside. We had our first practice tonight. As many of you may know, underground training is where all the kids in Tenafly go after school. It's already packed full of kids doing healthy activities. It's quite a wonderful thing to see, actually, if you haven't witnessed it. They were underground training, got best kids gym. What was it? Jewish Standard gave them the best kids gym in New Jersey. It's a really great thing to go witness and see all those kids doing healthy activities. As it is, the gym is already packed. And my team needs a space. We were at one point in time 42 kids. We're now down to 15 because I can't find a place for these kids to do healthy activities. Opening up the space and allowing these kids, our season is December through March. This is when we start practices. The kids are chomping at the bit to be out, to be doing some form of exercise and getting to know each other. And this is a great opportunity for me to help grow this team. Having that space outside under a tent and not in cold weather would be extremely helpful. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other members of the public here want to speak in the chambers? Any members of the public that are online?
Anyone online wish to speak, please raise your hand.
All right, no other public comment, Omar, you see?
No, Mayor.
Okay, we're gonna close public comment time and go right to the correspondence regarding underground training. Gentlemen, want to come to the microphone? I'll just tee it up you and tell you if I'm wrong with it and tell us your story. You went to the building department to do this. They said no, and you feel as usual to the mayor and council, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So that's.
And what's the rationale for the denial?
Because you can't, because you want to do this as a parking lot, right?
Correct.
They would have to go back to the planning board to get approval for this process for the temporary tenant. And so the building department, they're required to either send them to the planning board with rejection or to come to the mayor and council for appeal with rejection.
And there's no planning board meeting this month.
No, there is no, it was tomorrow night, it was canceled because there's no applicants. But they would have to have process for the temporary. All right, so tell the council what's going on, please. Thank you for being here.
Please, it's our pleasure being having this. Over COVID,
Just give us your names and
sorry, Moshe Clement. Actually, I'm an Inglewood resident, but our business at 31 Prospect Terrace, and Gerard Bokeys and 31 Prospect Terrace.
Thank you.
Business location. We used to be at 20 Chestnut, original location. Over COVID, we had an opportunity to take some more space. The other business went out. So we were able to move our business over there, and through some trials and tribulations, as I'm sure well aware. We were able to actually grow our business back into actually better than it was before. And one of the reasons we were able to do that is over COVID, we were able to, in a very unique way, have an outdoor possibility for clients who are not comfortable in indoor spaces, especially as whatever limitations were being provided. Our business continues to grow. Businesses like Bicycle Workshop, Design Sports Academy, numerous kids programs, as Chet mentioned, we're the #1 kids gym in Jersey, the #2 overall gym in New Jersey as well, providing a home for trainers as well, independent trainers as well as in-house trainers. Over 50 independent trainers utilize our space. On that note, just the outdoor space has become paramount to underground. We need the outdoor space and continue growing their programs into bringing these external vendors into our space and build programs for these kids.
Go ahead.
I think it's a great idea. I love the outside. Sorry, people are sick, so I'm going to ask this question. So thank you for doing outdoor exercise. Particularly, but I won't do this. Have you spoken with either the Plaza or Tenafly Rocket, and do they have any issues with this tent?
No, as a matter of fact, they do not. They also mentioned to us that
All of our clients are welcome to use their parking spaces as well, if there's any kind of issues of any kind. We actually work very closely with them, even when our bathrooms close down or for whatever reason they're shuttling back and forth. But we haven't had any issues at all with any of our neighbors. We've actually had a very pleasant experience.
Yes, Julie, please.
Actually, Councilman David brought up an interesting point. It's a question about process. So now that the owners are coming here that talk to us, I understand that sometimes when you go to the planning board, like you have to alert a certain number of neighbors. Is that the type of thing that has to be done with this task?
Well, so if the council decides to grant them this extension to the parking lot, they still have to go to the building department to get a permit for the tent construction, because we don't know here what they're gonna put inside there, or what they're gonna do. And then it's again, some structure, the building department will say, okay, make sure you have this way that's weighted down so it doesn't blow away, that sort of thing. So that, if the council decides it's okay, that would be the process. It doesn't, if they decide to go to a permanent thing, then they would have to go to planning.
Okay, so the only reason I bring it up is I remember when they were at the location, we had different neighbors. I don't have to tell you. Sure. But we had neighbors and some issues that we had to work out with parking and making sure clients, respected the neighbors around there. I just want to make sure I'm not stepping in anything. Whereas, there's houses across the street on Prospect. Is there something I should know?
One of the reasons we moved over to the space was because of the standalone aspect of it, understanding that the other spaces was a mixed commercial residential area. Across the street from us, there's already 2 businesses and 2 residences on the block itself.
So you'll allow your business, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this space has historically been over the past 20+ years has been some sort of business that's utilized a lot of outdoor parking, a lot of street parking as well. So I think that from a residence perspective, I'm just spitballing. I do believe a lot of residents are very comfortable with or very aware that there's a business there and people are parking in the street. We've had maybe over the past 3 years, maybe 2 or 3 instances where neighbors come and ask us, "Oh, one of your clientele is a little too close to our driveway. Do you mind?" And in a very simple kind of a way, no issues when they're at any time. Absolutely, and we moved our car, or we asked our client.
The idea is, it would be, I'm just looking at a picture of it. The north side is where you put the tent, or where?
Yes, the north side. There's a garage door in the back of the chair.
Yeah, I see that.
Right off of that garage door.
Okay, so it's all surrounded by trees.
How many spots would you be taking away?
I think there was only a total of 6 spaces altogether in the parking lot.
So 2.
Okay, so 2 out of 6.
In theory, the tent will be bumped up against the building. So it's kind of depending on the size allotted.
So you could take up 2 parking spaces.
So,
In theory,
Okay.
for our knowledge base, it's not, you're taking away 2 parking spots. You're not taking.
no, we're not taking the entire space. The back is way too big or something like that. It would just be,
That's about 18 by 18 feet.
yeah, something like that, yeah. Little small.
We get people coming, we have to know.
They're not, yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't have any issues with this. I think it's a great idea.
Most of the business owners.
Yeah.
And it's temporary, so when it work out, doesn't work out.
And that parking lot is completely closed in by
Yeah, I see.
fences and trees, so
Yeah.
it's not like the old spot, we were really on top of like the neighbors, and we had people upstairs from us. We don't have anybody upstairs.
That was not a good
Yeah, no.
location.
We were happy they sold the building on it.
those were a rough few months there.
All right, Bill, go ahead, please.
Now, the planning board is set for the business and the kind of business that you have. You need to be required that 6 parking spots. Or is that what they said?
Oh, we don't know. They sent us straight over here. We never actually spoke.
No, I mean, when you first applied for.
They didn't build the building. They moved in.
No, but
See ya.
so you didn't have to request any.
No, they didn't request any.
Yeah.
All right, so is council okay with this? Everyone good?
Yeah.
Okay, Omar,
Thank you. so
Thank you,
much.
thank you.
all right, hold on, since don't go away yet. Omar, we're all, council's okay with this.
Okay.
So what do I do? Have they, should they contact you or,
Yes, by, non-consent agenda first.
so it has to be passed by resolution? So
No,
not consent agenda?
No, this is, yeah, that's a little, before building department. So I'll be in contact with five parents.
You'll be,
Yes.
We don't need to vote.
no.
No.
You're good, guy.
Great, great. All right,
Reach
thank
out
you.
to Omar or Bob Burns, they'll be able to lead you in the right direction.
Great, thank you very much.
so much.
And happy birthday. I'm letting you drink leads. Okay, hey, have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to, we had, two, three people leave before public comment started, and it was very public comments. So I'm going to be able to, for the people that came back, that's okay with everyone?
Yeah.
All right. So, audience members wishing to speak will have a 3-minute time limit to address the governing body. Any items on the agenda, large groups are asked to have a spokesperson represent. So who here in the room would like to, speak or make public comments? Yes, if you want to talk? No? No? Okay. All right, that's fine. I'll close public comments now. And we'll, with my question, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Could I have a motion to approve resolutions R 23-467 through R 23-477?
So moved.
I have a question for Susan. Sorry, Susan. Is the welcoming committee in the line item, because I didn't find it, which before starting. For the expenditures, the welcoming committee?
Yes, not red one.
For what?
For what this is more?
Do you know what it's already been paid?
They expenditure, Roxanne was supposed to talk about it.
Oh, you mean next year or?
No, they had something that they were doing right now for advertising. And it was supposed to get into the bill list. I just want to make sure they did get into the.
If she came in after the bill list was due, that'll be on an interim bill list for next
That's
meeting.
what I just wondered.
I think she just came in. I think I saw her come in the other day.
Okay,
Right, so,
thank you. All right, I just had to clarify. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion, one for the moment.
Councilman Adam, Councilman Michaels,
Please,
Second,
or please call the roll.
Councilmember Dayton. Councilmember Menon. Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve resolution R 43-478? Have a second,
second.
roll call, please.
Councilmember Dayton,
This is the Tenafly library roof replacement. Yes.
Councilmember Menon,
So this isn't the Tenafly roof replacement, this is the change order for the,
The same one?
additional 18,000, right, because of some kind of, maybe before we. Yeah,
Needed additional materials.
right, so maybe before we do.
Well, it's a change order for a construction project.
Right, so maybe we could explain what.
Well, we've already got a vote underway.
Okay, yes,
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor.
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
okay, can we, before we go to the next one, can we just
Yeah,
explain?
I'll go, yeah, hold it up, yep. So it was a change order because, the contractor needed to install, needed to replace the existing 3/8 base layer. That was on the new roof itself, in the amount of $17,500. So it's an additional, retail that needs to be done on the project.
Yes.
Okay, all right, resolution, I have a motion to approve resolution. Oh,
Before you ask for a motion, can we just talk about what these are?
yeah, okay, so who has a question about 479?
Okay, so, with 479, was this, you know, was it, on a capital plan, you know, where was it originally?
It's a good question.
Well, it was part of the capital budget.
This is a piece of equipment
Right, it's gonna crush cardboard and other coating material, that's what the point of this. It's coating with mixed paper materials, it crushes. It prepares for transportation and shipping, the cost of it is $92,000.
And directly to your question, it says, whereas the general has advised, funding is available for the purchase, and that such purchase is complying with the requirements of the local.
So I'm not asking about the funding, I'm asking about when we were going through the budgeting process. I don't recall this being on the capital plan, so.
Can you come up here to
Okay. So this was an outstanding item that the RTPW director was having trouble getting for many years. It was in a previous capital plan for years ago, maybe even before you were on the term. And it was budgeted for $139,000. And then more recently, we did a supplemental, and it turned out that prices have gone down. And that's why the price is $92,000, like I canceled the other amount, but more recent.
Well done.
Thank you. And thanks for the explanation. Sometimes we don't get the proper story, so I'm glad we got the story.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, can I take a motion to approve R 23-479?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Okay, taking a motion to approve resolution R 23-480.
So moved.
Have a second.
This is for firehouse upgrades.
Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
Adam, I do have a question on 481.
Sure.
Okay, so go ahead, ask your question of
This
where
is
you are.
the wayfinding signage, which I'm very excited about. We were going to possibly see if there's anything a little less difficult to see, you know, the dark colors. Did they get back to us?
Yeah, so we shared with the police chief and DPW director a set of questions that we had. They felt that it was right, what they did identify, and what this is about today is, and thank you to DPW Director Cassidy, something with the DOT laws on the height of some of these things, and that's why there's a slight $253 or something change, because we had to be with compliance. And you do see, actually, if you go into, they have actually updated it. They made the logo bigger, they made the words bigger, thank you. And then they think it's right. They say based on how far away it is at night, they think it's the right thing.
And sorry, but the dark black background that we reflect, okay, while you're driving and they were comfortable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I basically, I personally thought it was actually a little big. The chief's like, well, Adam, as lovingly as he could say, Adam, you know, be 1,000 feet away in a car driving 30 miles an hour and then tell me how big it is. So I very much appreciated the education. So I'm very thankful for professionals that helped us with it. So the answer is yes.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Can I get a motion to approve resolution R 23-481? Got a second?
Second.
Omar, please call the roll.
Sure. Councilmember Dayton,
Yeah.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
Okay, so before you ask,
Yeah.
they just wanted to.
So these are, this resolution R 23-482, they're change orders, this is regarding the Bliss Avenue culvert. The original estimate at the time was approximately 1.5 million, and just so everyone is aware, this is the bridge on Bliss Avenue that was destroyed completely by Hurricane Ida, that we needed to rebuild. And the original quote from the contractor was 1.5 million approximately. And with these final change orders that are in the price, the total cost goes to 1.9 million, all of which is still subjected to or qualifies for the 90% reimbursement from FEMA, which the borough and the engineers are all in the mix of working through the bureaucratic process there. And so there were 4 change orders, and this represents, correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, this represents the net final number.
That is correct.
Any questions from anyone? Yeah.
Yeah, so, with the reimbursement and everything, normally change orders shouldn't be over 20%, or, you know, there's a certain percentage that it's allowed to go over. This seems like it's a lot more than 20%.
Well, this was done under emergency orders, so I can't answer that question. Perhaps Wendy, did you address that issue or the council?
Sure. So there's also emergency provisions for change orders, and usually those are for unforeseen circumstances. So accordingly, when you have an emergency contract altogether, oftentimes the need comes in to put change orders that may be a bit larger in scope than what would generally be acceptable because of the emergency nature and everybody piecing things together rather quickly and without the time that we would want to be able to get proper estimates, et cetera.
Right, thanks. And so that's why the government would still cover the 90% for the amount of the change order.
May I add?
Go ahead, please.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. The 20% rule is a common misunderstanding. The only criteria, if you receive any contract of greater than 20%, is that event has to be advertised in your newspapers. And when you file for your budget in the following year, you must list all of your contracts where you exceeded by 20% in the preceding year. But you're not prohibited to that 20%. It is just a reporting requirement for the Department of Community Affairs.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know, because normally we're told, 20% is the so the thing is, before it has to get rebid, something, but so I mean, just my concern was that the government will still cover the change order.
Again, through you, Mr. Mayor, basically it has to be advertised by the administrative office, and obviously we have to state it in next year's budget. It's a reporting element, and that's all it is a report.
Okay. And the 2, 3, and 4 all came in at the same time, or did they get? Did we see 2 and then 3 and then 4, or did they all come in at the same time?
To be honest, I think that this was more of an administrative error in the fact in a combination of several failures in which these documents were either not sent to the borough, or in fact, if they were received, they were not taken and not addressed in an appropriate and timely manner. We all know that change orders always come in sequence. They don't come in a lump sum. So each change order should be addressed appropriately to a resolution and having the governing body approve it. And it's one of these experiences, and I think there are a few more out there that we can learn from this, and the fact that I think going forward, we now look for change orders and we know how to get them.
Yeah, and to the extent that, there were a number of things that fell through the cracks. This is another one.
Definitely asking the governing body to approve 3 change orders in 1 resolution is what I would consider not proper procedure. But it is what it is. Contractor has to be paid. And after a thorough review by the CFO, working diligently with the engineering firm to document all the change orders, to identify discrepancies, resolve those discrepancies. It is a yeoman's effort. It's done. As the mayor said, this is the final result. And finally, we can get this contractor paid. And there are, as I said, there are a few more examples to come, and we're working.
Thank you,
Julie.
So I wanted to ask about this one. 2 things. So one is you feel that 90% reimbursement from FEMA is still going to be applicable with these change orders as well. That's
To the best of my understanding, yes, it's.
But I was wondering just more holistically, if another emergency happens, let's say, when an emergency happens in the future, what guardrails do we have as taxpayers? It's a little concerning. I'm not blaming any particular person in this situation. Maybe the people doing the work, what do I know, but, so that we're under a kind of a deadline, if the bridge has to get repaired, whatever. We're under the impression it's gonna cost a certain amount. In this case, FEMA is reimbursing, but maybe next time it wouldn't be the case. And then it's a very different cost later. What is to be done? What can we do as a borough when this happens? When we can't go out to bid, we can't, all those safeguards.
Well,
Impossible.
Depends on the emergency,
Yeah, you just tap
right?
it.
So, I mean, it's replicated.
No, I think if I understand the question properly, it's really maintenance. We are limited by the old manpower, manpower expression. But you only have so much people power, so much, free time or non-scheduled time to go out and start looking around at potential weaknesses within the borough. The other problem is that if we made a list of the weaknesses, which I'm sure they exist, but they exist everywhere, how would the governing body fund them? Any type of that event. So sometimes you just have to wait for it to happen. As the mayor said, depending upon the nature of the failure, some failures, even though they're emergencies, are from a construction point of view, relatively simple. And therefore you could hire a qualified contractor. But then there are other people who are, let's just say, have an expertise in that particular, like building bridges over culverts and creeks and things like that. Yeah, I mean, you can't just go to the local guy, unfortunately, now and ask them to do it. So there are companies out there that have the knowledge, the experience, from where I came. Sewer system was our biggest issue. And we had experts and people who were totally knowledgeable, not only in the general concept of sewers, but in our particular municipality, the sewer system in the municipality. So some of that is, advanced knowledge, preparation, maintenance. Those are all good things, but they take time and money.
You were gonna say something about the nature of the emergency.
It's an issue, but like last night we had a situation, I think it was about 2 a.m. One of our sewer lines got backed up. And it got, pretty ugly, but we were able to handle that whole thing internally at the Public Works Department. Because we have a sewer team, sewer crew, with their scope of work to take care of the whole problem. Homeowners were involved, the whole 9 yards. So that was relatively, it's not a small emergency for homeowners that are involved, but it's a manageable emergency for the borough to turn.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so can I have a motion to approve R23-487?
So moved.
That is second, please. Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
Okay, any questions on R23-483?
This is the transfer of the plenary retail distribution license.
Correct.
No question.
Okay, got a motion to approve R23-483.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, moving on to resolution R23-484. Any questions about this?
So the DPW committee didn't meet, it's been very busy this season, so I actually looked at their, if you don't mind, did you have a chance to speak with Michael Cassidy on this? On comparing the two quotes, did you speak with the director? For the DPW? Because there's two quotes proposed for the work, and we're picking. The resolution has us picking one of them.
Sorry, what ordinance, the rest is,
Sorry, it's
24, last
oh,
one.
484, I'm sorry.
My apologies.
Uh,
Usually the DPW committee, you know, will go through the flow, but we didn't.
you know, I'm really not sure. Maybe-
I know that.
I actually spoke with Director Cassidy if there's a
I'm not sure
question.
What you're asking is what I'm gonna say, but you picked the $19,500 quote because you needed to get it done quickly, otherwise there'd be penalties. So is that your question?
No, that's fine. I just, usually we discuss, when you have two quotes here, we discuss the differences between the two quotes. So like I said, we did meet as committee on this.
Right, because what happened was the other quote, I believe they wanted a 3-year contract, we only
We
need
did.
one time tomorrow, they might have to put out, I think it's tomorrow, it might be, yeah, it might be tomorrow that they're coming to do the work. So you need it done quickly, the other vendor couldn't do it as quickly. And then, he's gonna document that the price is slightly higher than the 18.5. So that when, if this is pulled by the auditors, we have a good explanation and reason why we had to get this done more quickly and move on.
I mean, the second quote, 3 years and escalating pricing. So,
Well, that one's not the one that we're taking.
right, we're taking the
Right.
first quote.
The first one, but it's 19,500.
I understand.
Right, okay,
Yes.
all right,
This one, put on record.
all right.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Have a motion to approve R 23-484.
So moved.
Have a second. Second. Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yeah.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor.
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
All right, public hearing.
Yes, resolution 45, that's the resolution for the RFP,
For,
the authorized.
so bids, right?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve resolution R 23-485? Do I have a second?
Second.
Please call the roll, Omar.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon, Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Okay, thank you. All right. Ordinance 23-29, post-retirement medical coverage. Omar, can you please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title?
Sure. Ordinance number 23-29, it was published in the December 10th edition of the record. It is an ordinance of the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 2, Administration of Government to establish Article 8, subsection 2-78, retiree benefits, authorizing and directing the payment of premiums for health benefits after retirement for certain employees. I believe Wendy wanted to make a comment on this ordinance.
Yes, thank you, Omar. I
I'd like to
would,
open the floor for public comments on ordinance 23-29. Anyone here like to speak on that? Anyone on Zoom that would like to speak on this ordinance? Okay, Omar, is there anyone who wants to speak?
No, Wendy wanted to speak on this ordinance.
Wendy?
yes, Mayor. I would like to ask that the council either vote to table this ordinance or vote it down. It came to my attention after the ordinance was introduced that there had been salary ordinances adopted in the past that conflict with this ordinance. Therefore, I would highly recommend that this ordinance not be passed.
So you want us to table it?
Table it or vote it down, either way.
Okay, can I get a motion to table?
So moved.
Second? Okay, so it is table. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Okay, ordinance 23-30, acceptance of the 4CA court. Omar, can you please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title?
Sure. Ordinance number 23-30 is an ordinance that was published in the December 10th edition of the record. Is an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of deed road dedication for a portion of Lot 9, Block 602, now designated as 4CA Court in the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, New Jersey.
Okay, I'd like to open the floor for any public comments on ordinance 23-30 only. Anyone in the chambers here that would like to speak, please? Is there anyone online who would like to speak on Zoom?
I see no hands, Mayor.
Okay, we're gonna close public comment on ordinance 23-30. Councilman Park, would you like to, make a motion, please?
I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading, ordinance 23-30, that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Can I have a second, please? Second. Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yeah.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
Ordinance 23-31. Omar, could you please read the confirmation publication of the ordinance and the title?
Sure. Ordinance number 23-31. It was an ordinance published in the December 10th edition of the record. Is an ordinance of the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 2, Administration of Government, Article 2, General Organization, Section 2-47, Junior Firefighters Auxiliary of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Tenafly, 2004.
I'd like to open the floor for public comments on ordinance 23-31 only. Anyone in the chambers that would like to speak? Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to speak? Okay, we're going to close public comment, and Councilwoman Dayton, would you like to make a motion, please?
I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading, ordinance 23-31, and that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Have a second, please. Omar, please conduct a roll call.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
Ordinance 23-32. Omar, could you please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title?
Ordinance number 23-32. It's an ordinance that's published in the December 10th edition of the record. It is an ordinance of the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 2, Administration of Government, Article 1, Mayor and Borough Council of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Tenafly, 2004.
Okay, I'm going to open the floor for public comments on ordinance 23-32 only. Is there anyone in the chambers who would like to comment? Is there anybody out on Zoom who would like to comment? Looks like no one, no more. I'm going to close public comment. And Councilman Bennett, would you like to make a motion, please?
I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading, ordinance 23-32, and that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Have a second, please.
Second.
Omar, could you please conduct a roll call?
Councilmember Dayton, Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
All right, very good. Thank you. Under old business, we have the 2024 meeting calendar.
Okay, so there's we're looking at the calendar for January, and just to keep a better spacing of the meeting dates from the recess meeting and ongoing throughout the year. It was suggested to move the January dates from January 9th to January 16th and January 23rd to January 30th. And if the governing body is accepting of this change, I'll have it ready in a resolution form for the reorg meeting.
Questions, comments? from anyone?
And one other thing I wanted to bring up, just one other thing. When we made the change for the meeting on April 23rd, that happens to be the second day of Passover. I wanted to make sure if we were going to move forward with that date, if everybody's okay with that.
No, second.
You should not do that. That's a religious duty.
So what date is that?
Because originally,
Also, even just for our public, if they want to participate in that meeting and they're observing, so.
Why don't we just do it, can we do it the week before, the Tuesday, would that be?
that's April 16th.
We changed from the second.
Right, it was the second to the 9th, and then the 16th to the 23rd. Right,
So then to the mayor's point, can we do the 9th and 16th, or is that 1 week apart is not appropriate?
1 week apart.
Or can we do like a different day?
Easter's 24th, Wednesday.
Well, 7 days later is April 30th.
When's Easter?
But
Easter
then
is the end of the. I don't know.
I don't know, April this year, Easter this year is probably the week of, the 22nd. And it's going to be Sunday, the 21st.
We can do the 30th, like they said, or what about the 24th, the next day?
Is the 24th is okay? The governing body?
Wednesday, the
We're just checking out
24th.
Easter.
Sure.
Wednesday.
Well, assuming there's no, planning board
Planning
meeting,
board?
I don't know.
That's the one. The fourth. The Easter, the 24th.
Oh, it's still.
April first.
Easter, is that early this year?
Yep.
2024.
That's why school break for
Right. That
Tenafly
week
that
is-
first week.
Correct.
Oh, maybe it's the.
It's the March 31st is
That's-
Easter.
Well, let's pass over.
Easter's March 31st.
Actually, isn't-
Passover is April 22nd.
But that's, if that's the first day, then isn't it the night before?
No, the 22nd.
The 22nd and the 23rd are the nights of the two
You
Seder's.
can look at the 24th.
24th is, he's checking if there's a tennis.
I can't,
I can try to see
like,
if we have a plan on board for 20.
We're seeing about the
I'm
24th.
fine with Thursday.
Well,
Did you mean? You didn't.
Okay, so
Pause that.
wow. if
there is a planning board meeting on the 24th of April.
So it's okay, 25.
There's no meeting. So far, I don't have a meeting on 25th.
Move it till the 30th because it's a Tuesday.
Then
Because then it's.
7 days in the next day.
It's May 7th.
25.
Or do we need the meeting at all? Like in February? Or we only have one?
Can we go with just one meeting in April?
Yeah, there's just a lot of.
That's budget season. You would want that meeting.
You're gonna have extra meetings.
No, but again, that's where you're right, we're already having 2 meetings on a Saturday, 2 meetings on, we're gonna have an extra half a dozen budget meetings that you really need.
For example.
I would still keep up.
Susan, would you mind, would you please come up to the microphone for a second?
I would keep it 25th on the books.
You don't sound very enthused about that.
I'm just trying to think about, you have to wait 28 days from one meeting to the next to adopt the budget. And this year, when the best practices, it really came down on the timing of the budget. There's a whole bunch of questions in our
So
budget.
when are you backing into it? When would you like the first, when do you think?
Well, if you had the 25th, it would be good,
What month?
April, so that you don't,
First reading.
well, I don't know, I have to look at the local finance, but what I'm saying is those first few months were really, really busy.
Let's put the 25th on the books right now.
Which one?
25th, Thursday.
That's Thursday, the 25th, if you have a planning board on Wednesday, the 25th.
If things change, we'll change it.
That's fine. Okay, that makes sense. Everybody good with that?
Sure.
Thursday, 25th?
Thursday, the 25th.
Okay.
But just Omar, just a note for you and me, I just got, I'm not sure if our Board of Health.
Board of-
April.
Board of Health is typically the third Thursday in April or any month. So it probably April 18th.
Yeah, right, because
Wait. Oh, you're talking about Board of Health. I'm thinking about Environmental Commission. I'm sorry.
No, I know.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would be Board of Health.
Board of Health. Yeah, that's in March.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's in March.
The only thing, I assume you're doing it just to mess me up.
Okay.
On the 17th, why are we at 7:45, whereas it's 7:30 for the rest of the year?
I thought I made that change. You don't see it on the back end of the year.
Oh, you made it, I dropped it down.
Oh, sorry.
But if you change it, that's great.
It's 7:30, like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be fun, just that's the thing, I get that.
No, I don't know.
Most people do.
No.
You get a different link.
It's weird. Oh my God, Adam, these are your special links.
I wish I had time to do that.
Every meeting.
Okay,
So you got that.
yes.
Okay, any questions about the minutes of November 28th, 2023 or December 5th, 2023?
I was not here for 20, so. Hold on that. Hold on.
Okay. Abstain.
All right, so I'm gonna do them separately, okay? Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from November 20th, 2023? Yeah, but I still need a motion. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Councilman Parker. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from December 5th, 2023? Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, anyone have anything from the order? Anyone have any upcoming meetings? January 2nd, of course, is our recess meeting, starting at 7 o'clock, and the reorganization meeting starts at 7:30 p.m.
Committee reports.
Well, yeah, we can do that, we can do that too. I just wanted to get upcoming meetings. Okay, committee reports, we'll just go around, start with Dan. Laura?
I do. The nature center needs a follow-up about the security cameras. And okay. Again, they're having security issues up there. They have to call the police again this weekend. So I would like to follow through on that. We had some possibly funding in the police department. There's a confusion whether that funding is going to be used for the nature center cameras or if they need to find a separate funding source. So I would like to just report back again that we need to follow up on that.
They have no cameras in it?
None. Well, they have some technology. I don't want to, give it away to the public. They do have technology and things, which is how we know they're having security issues, but they want cameras. I mean, again, they have staff there, there's somebody who lives on the property overnight and so forth. I would like to also announce that Tenafly Nature Center is having both a brunch in March and a gala in May. They're upping their fundraising and membership initiatives. I would strongly recommend that each and every council member come to these events. I believe it's going to be March 3rd. It's a Sunday for the first brunch, and we're trying to see if we can get Cinco de Mayo or something close to it for the gala. Which I believe they were testing possibly a casino night, but again, the donations are for the Melba Bar Nature
This is the
Center.
one we go to every year, like the silent auction is epic.
It is.
So please, no one go, because I work really hard to those, auctions.
You want to donate meatball? We need
Yeah.
meatball donation.
All there.
So this helps pay for literally the educational programming, the salaries. It helps run the facility. It is vital. I would like each and every one of our council members to bring 5 friends seriously and encourage them to support our nature center. Deborah Davison, our director, does an incredible job, but again, it's very difficult to fundraise for the center in a way that would benefit a future growth of this. So keep that in mind. So please, consider joining. I will be joining and stepping onto the nature center board.
Congratulations.
Yeah, nature center things. Can't believe it. And so that's the nature center. I would like to also talk about the welcoming committee for a second. Again, our chairperson, Alexander Surrey, goes above and beyond to welcome our new residents, which in the past few years has seen upwards of 400 plus new residents a year. We are talking about adding on new members that speak other languages, having events that help acclimate our new families. We are one of the unique our town uniquely has the welcoming committee, not many do. And I will say again, whoever takes this on as liaison, they are doing a great job. And the people moving in so far before December, we had 350 new homes, new families coming in. And that's a lot to acclimate to our town. So it's not a small thing to hold these events. If anyone knows, they're looking for 4 new members, hopefully dual speaking.
4 new members on
the committee. And I just also want to thank TVAC Police and Fire for their storm, and of course our DPW for the storm cleanup after the rain this past week. Thank you to Malcolm Cassidy, and all of our directors for that work.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Bennett.
Just the senior center met yesterday, and a couple of things that wanted us to know. is that they are having difficulty scheduling booking space because they can't have multiple events and they're having to turn down people coming to events and stuff like that. So this is all a prelude to in the coming year pushing for a senior center. It's going to use this as additional guidance for them. They also wanted to let us know that they submitted a budget into the office and that there is a very small, so they're not asking there. So they just wanted to let us know for the public. They just wanted people to know that they are having board nomination for the upcoming board for next year. So if you're interested, please contact Michelle Pausch. She'll get you in touch with the nomination committee of the senior center. So, and then of course they had the usual they had a number of activities going on. Sports luncheon, Thanksgiving luncheon, coffee flash, and they have a New Year's party on the 28th, I believe, and a number of other activities coming up. And then a trip to the United Nations in March, a trip to Broadway to see Doubt. So for all of these, just reach out to Michelle House, the senior center director. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Michaels?
No update. The only thing, I was out of state, but last Wednesday was the visit with Santa. I didn't get a chance to speak to Jamie. I don't know if anyone heard.
I was there.
Get any prizes from Santa?
I didn't get any prizes from Santa.
Yeah. Well, it's great that they did that. So congratulations to the recreation.
Right, to the organizers, recreation, of course.
Cool. That's it.
So I wanted to just say, I spoke to the chief regarding the security cameras, and it is they're coming, but what he's really going to be doing is for this upcoming budget, kind of put all together the entire ask from the Tenafly Nature Center rather than just try to buy in piecemeal. So he knows about it. He's going to be coming in March, take some of what's already, some funding that's already there, and then add to it. Most has spoken to Susan about it, and that seems to be the plan. So it's in the ether and Christie. No problem. The other thing was we are working on a third location for the compost pilot program, which would be by the Churchill Preserve. This is from feedback from some of the families in our compost pilot program that the two drop-off locations are more on this side of town. So that will make it easier for families that live, on the other side of on the hill. And then our compost educator, Dorothy Quincy, she's actually going to be going to mom's school, speaking to some school club student families this Thursday. So we expect, always the bump when she gets to schools, and then they bring the flyers home to their families. So it would be good for us to have a third location in different areas of town. It's going really well. We have over 2 tons of food waste diverted already, which is amazing.
3 tons.
Oh, 3? Oh, okay.
That's a lot.
Amazing. Considering 50,
That's great.
50 families.
That's
That's
awesome.
so nice. The trash-a-thon date is going to be April 28th. So I know that Councilman Park was working on getting us more pickers. So for any of the families that have participated in the past and they're worried about they don't have enough garbage pickers for the kids and the family, we're gonna have a lot of garbage pickers, right, Councilman Park? So
Cassidy doesn't keep in mind.
yeah, so no kids will be fighting over the pickers. So please, everybody show up and clean up the town, so April 28th. And, that's about it.
That's it, thank you. I'm just gonna go back and make, one comment, mayor's remarks, the update regarding the TDP, the conversations regarding the stormwater utility and, cleaning up, back in 10 ago. You know, thanks to the work of Senator Johnson's office, we've got, meeting date with the end of January, the TDP is finalizing, they want to meet with us and some of the other towns that want to, and participate in the process of understanding how it all works. So I'll keep you posted as that day comes closer.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to go into close, please?
Wendy has to read.
Pardon me?
Wendy has to read.
Oh, Wendy, sorry. Please read it in.
Resolution R 23-486, at a meeting of the mayor and council of the borough of Tenafly, county of Bergen, state of New Jersey, held on December 19th, 2023. Mayor and council of the borough of Tenafly has deemed it necessary to go into closed session to discuss certain matters which are exempted from the public. Be it resolved in compliance with NJSA 10:4-12, the mayor and council of the borough of Tenafly are going into closed executive session to discuss the following: collective bargaining, police dispatchers. Minutes will be taken of the meeting and released to the public at the time when the matter is resolved.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to go into close? Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you, everybody.
Maybe the danger's covered by the thrill. 'Cause I know I should be running.